Hello, YouTube. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to build an effective habit or even break an old habit. I'm sure you all have had that feeling where you wanted to make a positive change in your life, do something good for yourself, maybe change your old ways. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the idea of habit building. And you might think, well, what is habit building, or what even is a habit in general? I'm sure when you think of a habit, you think of someone like maybe an elderly that you know that smokes all the time, or maybe someone that has a positive habit like eating good foods all the time, going to bed at a certain time. Those are examples of habits. These things can kind of transform your lives and make you look at things a little differently. I'm no expert at this, being a high school student, but I feel as though I've made many things in my life a habit, whether that's working out over the course of this year, playing sports, going to bed at a certain time. All these things are now a habit to me because I've become so accustomed to them. So your reason to listen today, and I hope you find a reason to enjoy this, everyone has those areas in your life where you want to better yourself, try new things. So today I'm going to be speaking to you guys about those 4 different things. First and foremost is start small. Starting with things that are more manageable to you are easier to make a habit. An example of this would be something like, instead of running 5 miles at one time, you start in 5-minute intervals. Instead of overloading yourself with all that running, you start small and work your way up to more manageable goals. Many people try to start and do something, but it becomes overwhelming to them because they're forcing themselves to do so much instead of starting in small ways and building up to those proper goals. An example of this would be something like a goal pyramid. At the top, I have your goals, your intermediate goals, and your short-term goals. You can order this in any which way you want, but essentially how this works is, personally, I'm a visual kind of person, so I have my goals. Maybe what are my goals? What am I trying to achieve? Secondly, I have the intermediate goals. Maybe what are the steps that I'm going to do to achieve that goal? And thirdly, I have the short-term goals. What task am I going to do every single day to lead to those steps to then achieve the goal? Secondly is being consistent. Consistency is the most important thing in creating a habit, because essentially what a habit is the consistency in constantly doing something over and over every single day. When talking about creating a habit, it's better to become repetitive than doing something for a long duration of less time. For example, 10 minutes of exercise every single day for 1 hour a week. If you do the 1 hour a week for, however many weeks, that's not as good in creating a habit. You want to start with something like 10 minutes of exercise every single day for the course of that week, because you're creating the repetitiveness for yourself, engraving that in your everyday life. It's also been proven that doing what you wish to accomplish around the same time every single day can make an easier change for yourself. And you could do something with this like habit tracking. On my phone right here, which I'm sure many of you guys have a phone, you can use something like a calendar to remind yourself every single day. Give yourself notifications. I'm not sure if you could see that, but normally you can use a calendar. This can be something like a handheld calendar, something on your phone like I'm sure you all have, and it's a great way to remind yourself and track your current progress. Thirdly is using something like a trigger. Well, you might think, well, what is a trigger and how does that affect in a habit? That would be something like pairing a new habit with an existing one. Doing so can kind of help you recall and perform your actions easier. An example of this that I like to think of is, I like to brush my teeth every single night before I go to bed. It's a habit and I do it all the time. So maybe if my goal every single day is doing 50 push-ups and I did my 25 push-ups earlier, breaking it up, maybe after I brush my teeth, I do my other 25 push-ups to complete my goal and work on creating that habit of exercising and doing my push-ups. A great way to help you is using Post-it notes. I'm sure you all have a Post-it notes. If you don't, they're really cheap and easy to find. And Post-it notes are great because they're a visual reminder to you to know when to do something. I know if I need to remember something for today, if I go to school or something and I need to remember something, I always put a Post-it note right where I'm leaving to where I can visually see it to remind myself, hey, I need to do that. So it's a great way to help you build that habit and remind yourself. Lastly, staying motivated. Motivation is the most important thing in creating a habit. It's easy to become demotivated, but you have to realize that motivation fluctuates. It's easy to get down on yourself, but persistence and truly wanting to better yourself does prevail. Don't rely solely on motivation. Well, you might think that's kind of a counter argument to what I just said, but you have to realize that motivation is an emotion. It can be changed without the course of the day. It can be changed through your moods or how you're just going throughout your day. So it's not something that's solely structured. Lastly, stay positive, and it's easy to discourage yourself, but ultimately prevail and just keep doing what you need to do. And a great way to help yourself, again, is using something like your phone to remind yourself to track your progress. You could do this with something like a journal or even your notes app. Right here, I have my notes app, and whatever I need to remember for the day, I use my notes app or a visual reminder to, hey, I need to do this for the day, or hey, maybe I need to do this later. So it's a great way in creating that habit. Overall, my final thoughts to reinforce this idea to you is, habits can be good or bad, but maybe you're trying to break a habit, or maybe you're trying to create a new habit. So don't just worry about what might come later, but worry about what's coming now, and hopefully this helps you create that habit. Thank you.